Hello everyone, Octopus here again with the second devlog. First one was pretty well received, I think. So thank you guys for that. Thank you for retweeting my my tweets about it as well. Um, so today, second one. Small disclaimer to start with is these devlogs are not meant to be small tutorials or ways of me explaining how the protocol works. They are just meant to give you an idea of what I'm working on and give you the opportunity to contribute. So easy to understand sources of information such as video tutorials and marketing, tweets about how the protocol works, a white paper will all be coming, and people will ask me for that. You are exactly right, we need those. However, they are still not here currently, with the reason also that the protocol is going to change and it wouldn't really make sense for me to make these. So if you still want to help me out, I have written something for you, namely some documentation, very preliminary documentation actually. However, if you go to ersatz.test.versal.app, which is where the demo is currently being hosted, then you will see in the footer this header documentation, and clicking it will lead you to some documentation which admittedly is written with a little help of ChatGPT. I wrote bullet points, so the information in there is actually correct. I provided ChatGPT with correct information and then it did the nice writing for me. So there might be some misinterpretations by ChatGPT in there, but I will have to check it again. But I think most things are actually correct. But if you see something which you think, this looks very strange, please tell me, give me a shout. Also, it's not fully finished, so for instance, there's nothing here, there's nothing here, there's nothing here. You get the drift. But all of this information, where there's actually information about the protocol, is there. So if you're interested in helping out, read this. I think it will help. So that's that. Next thing is the UI of this nice looking front end now has been overhauled. I think you've already seen it. However, I try to get a little bit more of a futuristic UI and vibe going, while still using the same colors as we were using in the Alice DAO website and the step protocol website. So here you see these blues, and I've tried to use these again to kind of keep the same same narrative or same brand going. So I think it turned out pretty well. I would have to say. Let's remove this. So I hope you like the new front end. Another change to the new front end is that you can actually click which account you want to select. Over here you can connect multiple accounts, and then after connecting multiple accounts you can select which one you want to use over here. So that's pretty neat, I think. Yeah, so just let me show you the new UI. This is this page. Borrow page has been overhauled a bit too. I think it looks pretty clean, to be honest. And the earn page obviously also overhauled. Is that a? Yeah, that's a word. So some things that are still not yet finished in this UI is the logo. So this Ersatz logo I'm not happy with, also because I'm not happy with the protocol name yet. So if you have a name for the protocol, give it a shout, or give me a shout. Put it in the Telegram, suggest it somewhere I see it, and I might think about it. Same goes for if you're able to make logos. So I would like a logo also for the stablecoin. I'm currently still using the USDC logo, but if you feel inspired, then also give me a shout. I will be able to compensate you some, so if you have the skills, you might be able to pay the bills. Uh, yeah, so looking for some graphics. If not, I will make them myself, and I will try my absolute best, obviously. But I'm not much of an expert when it comes to doing some little photoshopping. Um, yeah, that's that. That's most of the new interface explained to you. But one small addition is this redeem USD header. So previously I've explained to you what redemptions are. Small recap: if you open a loan, then you will set an interest rate, and if you have the lowest interest rate in the protocol, people can repay your loan in return for some of your collateral. So to make it a bit clearer of exactly how this works, I've built this redeeming widget or section where you can try out this redemption yourself. To be clear, these redemptions are usually not profitable because when they are profitable, they will be done by bots, so they will be instantly done. But I think this is nice for transparency's sake and to understand what actually is happening. So I have added it into the UI. This is not yet correct information. It's kind of bullshit right now. So don't pay attention to that. But we can try redemption. Maybe we look first on the dashboard to see what is going to be redeemed to do a sanity check. So lowest interest rate. This one 7.9. Nice. That one's going to be redeemed if we do a redemption. So let's just try. Let's do a 50. Sorry, I'm not showing the screen of my phone right now. Was a bit too much of a hassle. Yeah. Okay, so did a redemption. It's signed in my wallet. Let's see what happens here. I've actually never used this. It seems it's been successful. And we can see. Wow. Oh yeah, it hasn't been completely redeemed because some LSULP has also been partially redeemed. So this one has been partially redeemed and this one has been partially redeemed. But we can see that this decreased. That's actually funny. I was not expecting that for some reason. I didn't think about that, but good to see the protocol actually does what it's supposed to, even though I don't assume it's going to. So that's something for the redemptions. Try that if you have some time. Yeah, that's basically everything I changed about the front end. Happy to hear some feedback, so come and give it. Last topic that I've been busy with is the idea of privileged borrowers. So I have to explain this a little bit. As a protocol, we obviously want to attract big players to borrow or use the Ersatz protocol. And we want to make it possible to take out big loans which are predictable, or at least we want to cater to the people who need predictability but would be a very big asset to the protocol if they actually utilize it. So for them, redemptions are a pain in the ass. They are for everyone, but imagine institutions, they are very rigid. So it is definitely a pain in the ass for them. It's actually a deal breaker too. Same goes with liquidations. The Oracle risk on liquidations is just a bit too big. So we need some way to prevent redemptions and liquidation risk for big players if we want to cater to them. So in comes the idea of privileged borrower. I've been doing some scriptoing so it's not yet available on the front end, but I have already built a system. And how the system works is that you can mint a privileged borrower NFT, uh, and you can give this to someone, so to a party that you want to be able to borrow, but they don't want to if they don't have these privileges. And with this privileged borrower NFT, they can open a loan with firstly a liquidation notice. So if they are about to be liquidated, they pay a very small fee, very small, but they don't get liquidated, and they will get a liquidation notice. So for instance 7 days, so they will get 7 days to top up the collateral in order to not be liquidated and make their loan healthy again before they are able to be liquidated. So if they don't do this, then in 7 days they will still be able to be liquidated. 7 days is just an example. It's might be on the long side given the volatility of XRD, so might have been a bad example. But liquidation notice. And the second part of being a privileged borrower is that you can opt out of redemptions. I had to find a way to make this fair. I think I found a way that is as fair as possible. So what I've currently built into the blueprints, which are not yet in use, is a way for privileged borrowers with redemption opt-out to always pay interest rate that is equal to the lowest interest rate loan in the protocol. So right now we can see 7.9% is the lowest interest rate on XRD because these are all open loans. No one else has any open loans. So every privileged borrower that has opted out of redemptions pays an interest rate of 6.9%. This way it's still adaptive to the market, but they are not able to be redeemed in a fair way because they cannot just pick a very low interest rate. And also they have a pretty competitive interest rate. You might still think this is too unfair, so that's my question to you here. Besides, do you think this is a good idea, these privileged borrowers? I think it is, but please also leave your opinion on that. However, yes, I was saying my question here is, do you think it's fair for them to pay the lowest interest rate, or should we add some kind of buffer? So let's say the lowest interest rate is 6.9%, so they pay 7% interest rate. We could do something like that as well. To be clear here also, there are some built-in protections that make it impossible to game this system. So you could maybe, as a privileged borrower, every time interest is charged, quickly make a loan that has an interest rate of 0%, and then charge interest, and then the lowest interest rate in the protocol is technically 0%, even though it's going to be redeemed very soon, and they will only pay 0% interest rate. There are some protections in place to be able to not do this, quite a bit actually, but let's not get into the technicalities here. So assume they are also always paying this fair lowest interest rate. Do we add a buffer on top of that? That's the question. And is this even a good system? So zero preparation from my side again, and I've been rambling. I hope there was some structure to be found in my monologue here. I fear not actually, but that's for you guys to decide. Please come and join the LSDAO Telegram. Tell me what you think. Give me your opinions. I will forever be grateful. And that's it, I think. So I'm out. Have a good night. Well, it's night for me, but If it's not for you, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, have a good morning, whatever it is for you. Cheers, lads. Goodbye.